Hello friends. What I'm going to do today is share two excellent advocacy success that we have experienced in the last couple of months and basing on what we have been trying to do since the last couple of years in India. And I would say that these are a great success for us as a team at the national level and all at the state level, and excellent advocacy win examples. First of all, I will share the experience that we had last week with regard to the Women Land Rights Facilitation Center. I am sure many of you are aware of this initiative that RDI has done in Ganjam district, where RDI is piloting an initiative which was started by the district administration, that's Women Land Rights Facilitation Center, with a basic objective of allocating land to the single women, developing the capacity of different stakeholders, revenue officials, Anganwadi workers, and a number of other stakeholders, and most importantly the grievance redressal mechanism on land. So this in entirety has actually defines our empowerment model of women. And this is a pilot which started last year, and the good news is that last week the district administration took a decision to scale it to all the tehsils in the district, which would mean that another 21 tehsils, apart from where we are currently present, that is Khalikot, we will have another 21 tehsils, which means that 3,000 villages to work, and 190 revenue inspector circles, where in each of the tehsils we will have designated space, designated lady facilitators who are necessarily revenue inspectors to look at the single women land issues. So this is something which has been possible with a constant relationship building and communication and advocacy work with the district administration, and I'm sure you will join me in congratulating the entire team, the Odisha team, and also the frontline staff who have been involved in this work. And this is something which we are banking on, and the idea is that after a given point of time, maybe after a couple of years, we'll ensure that the entire state, all the tehsils, have women land rights facilitation centers. Well, what do we mean when we say that advocacy win? When we say advocacy win, we mean that the entire district has created this as a mandate of giving women, a single woman, land as a mandate at the entire district level, which meant that our constant work with the district administration, with the constant work with the DM, constantly trying to tell them that how it is possible through the existing structures, by giving little focus on women, land can be settled. So this is something which has been possible with our constant rapport building, constant relationship building, constant work with facts and figures with the revenue department at the district level. So this is something which I would like to underline as a success of the entire team. I mentioned about two advocacy wins. First, of course, is the Women Land Center, and the second is the scaling of the CRP model to 118 tribal subplan blocks. And the issue here is that within a span of, let's say, about 12 to 14 months, the team has been successful in convincing the government at different levels, at the state and at the district level, to adopt the CRP model as the most viable model to identify landless people in the remote areas. So the work that has taken place in the last 12 to 14 months is that constantly working with the Chief Secretary, constantly working with the secretaries at different levels, with facts and figures, with processes that has gone through with the CRP model, and most importantly, the kind of policy change that this work can actually lead to. For example, the entire issue of objectionable land, where the tribals have been there for ages. A decision has been taken by the government, both at the state level, at the supra-state level, I would say at the higher bureaucracy level, that case by case basis, the entire issue of objectionable land will be settled, which means that to a large extent, I would say that 70% of the land which were earlier objectionable land, which came up from our scaling up with Odisha Tribal Empowerment Livelihoods program, will now be settled in favor of the tribals. This would mean the 118 scale up, the TSP block scale up would mean that our work will reach about 1 million tribal households, and within that, going by the figures that we have collected in our earlier scale up, we can provide patta, or the government can provide patta or title to about 500,000 households, which is a huge implementation issue in front of us, in front of a huge implementation gain for the government, and that has been successful with our constant work, constant advocacy with the state government, not only with just with regard to meeting them, but meeting with specific facts and figures and details from our implementation scale up. So looking back at what has been achieved in the last 1 year, I can say that this might as well come out as one of the largest land reforms initiatives in the state post-independence, which would mean that 500,000 households will get land. This also includes the forest land under the Forest Rights Act. So friends, this is something which for all of us, not only Odisha, for all of us in India and in Seattle to be proud about, and because we have been working for the poor, securing land for the poorest, and this has been one of our very, I would say that a very remarkable success in providing land to the poor.